eagle, eagle, face off, face off, championship, championship, album, album, headline, headline, buckle, buckle, pension, pension, scant, scant, reform, reform, backlash, backlash. There's plenty to watch at the Super Bowl on Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles will face off in what is expected to be one of the closest championship games in years. For many fans, Rihanna at the Super Bowl halftime show is the main event. Once one of pop's most reliable hitmakers, Rihanna has not released an album in 7 years. Her headlining set at the halftime show will be her first public performance since 2018. Public finances are buckling as retirement promises made to previous generations collide with the realities of an aging population. State pension costs in developed economies are projected to soar and leave scant room for other spending priorities. Back in 1980, pensions consumed about 5.5% of GDP. And by 2040, that could top 10%, according to the best available data from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The near-universal agreement from economists is that we'll all need to work for longer, save more, or receive less. Yet nearly half of OECD countries haven't passed legislation to increase the normal retirement age, and some are softening planned reforms amid public backlash. Unidentified, unidentified, output, output, retaliate, retaliate, turmoil, turmoil, take in stride, take in stride, criticism, criticism, mounting, mounting, dispatch, dispatch, scathing, scathing, survivor, survivor. The U.S. shot down an unidentified object over frozen waters around Alaska. Officials did not say where it came from or whether it was another balloon. Moscow said it plans to cut oil output by 500,000 barrels a day next month, following through on a threat to retaliate against Western energy sanctions. The move threatens to renew turmoil in the oil market, which had so far taken disruption to Russian supplies in stride. Criticism is mounting against President Erdogan for his response to 2 massive earthquakes that have left more than 23,000 people dead across Turkey and Syria. Turkey's poor construction regulations and pace of dispatching aid have come in for scathing criticism by survivors and the opposition. Motive, motive, self-inflicted, self-inflicted, wound, wound, concealed, concealed, firearm, firearm, vigilant, vigilant, knock down, knock down, origin, origin, alien, alien, extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial, ambassador, ambassador, board of directors, board of directors, circuit, circuit, The police identified the victims in the Michigan State shooting, but not the motive. The 3 victims shot and killed on the East Lansing campus last night were students at the university. Authorities identified the gunman, who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, as Anthony McRae, 43. He lived in nearby Lansing, but had no apparent connection to the university, and he had been arrested once before for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. Police said he had a history of mental illness. White House officials said today that the 3 high-flying objects shot down over the last 4 days had been at an altitude that posed a risk to civilian air traffic. It is not clear if there are suddenly more objects flying over North America, or if the U.S. and Canada are now more vigilant. The White House knocked down one theory about the object's origin. There is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity, the press secretary said. Nikki Haley announced her 2024 presidential bid. Haley, the first woman and person of color elected South Carolina's governor, was a UN ambassador in the Trump administration, and after resigning in 2018, she joined Boeing's board of directors and spent time on the speaking circuit.